I want to have a conversation about grit. I think grit is not a 4-letter dirty word. I think it actually is something that drives people. And frankly, you have it or you don't. It's kind of like, are you 6 foot tall or not? Can you jump out of a gym or not? It's just something we have or we don't. And the reason I want to have this conversation is because I think the success of Himlane is because Dana has grit. We're going to get into the story of how it started, how it's going, and where it's at. But first, let's welcome her to the show. How you doing, Dana?
I'm great. I love this because it's been such a journey. So I'm super excited to talk about it, and especially grit.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this. We're going to play a short clip from, I think it's from Instagram, from someone here. Hopefully you can hear it. Let me just hit play and we'll put it up to the mic.
Kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? One characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years. And working really hard to make that future a reality.
Well, when I see that video, I think of you again, Dana. You've been Himlane almost a decade now. Again, just this is why Himlane is successful, because you clearly have grit.
Well, thank you. And I think the entire team has grit. When we hire, I always say hire for personality, don't hire for skills. I
Mm.
can teach someone repair coordination. I can teach someone leasing and everything about fair housing. I cannot teach someone how to have that attitude and that grit. And that is what we look for is when we're hiring, and we will interview, like face to face interview, about 100 people for each position before we choose the right one. And that's like after, going through resumes and stuff like that. And it's that perseverance that says, I'm going to stop at nothing to make this work. And I'm just going to double down. And I've got that passion as well. And it's super true to our story. I think property management, I hear it often from others. They're like, property management is a really freaking hard business to be in.
Yeah.
It,
Amen.
yeah, it's low margin, right? It's like one of the lowest margin businesses. It's super fragmented. I look at these friends of mine who are in sales, like I have one coming over, Anthropic salesperson coming over for dinner tonight. You look at them, their deal sizes are so big. They get one deal and they tell me, they go, you do the same amount of work for one deal, but your deal value is one thousandth or something. And it still just has to go to our passion and saying,
Mhm.
hey, every day gets a little bit better because of our passion and our perseverance. And then you see that it's easier to bring customers on board. It's easier to answer their questions because a product answers it. But I do think you need a lot of that grit. And I go so far as to say anyone who has started a company, and this is why I love founders, entrepreneurs, I love those who have failed. It's because they know exactly they've gone through it, and you just can't relate. I mean, if you haven't, I was in the corporate world, very similar to you, Michael, before we went into entrepreneurship, and my job was freaking easy. Like, it was almost, I'd go to Apple every day. This was back, in 2010. So I'm dating myself, but I would go down to the cafeteria, I'd get my coffee, with my condensed milk. I'd walk back upstairs. I'd maybe attend a meeting here or there. I could almost check out for a week. And don't worry, I never did. I was a very hard worker, but it would
Yeah.
not impact the company and I would still get a paycheck. Right now,
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
time, obviously you have to perform. And I really focused on that. But after being an entrepreneur, there's a couple of things that I've noticed. One, I didn't have a big enough impact because it didn't matter. to the bottom line, whatever I did, the bottom line was probably going to be about the same. And
Mm,
then I always say this, and I don't mean it in a bad way to my friends in the corporate world, but I'm like, I could not go back to that because I would go up and I would blow everything out and be like, 80% of what you're doing doesn't matter. Cut that, stop sending that report. And it's because of my experience being in the corporate world of looking at what I did of shuffling papers every day and saying that had no material impact. And part of, I think, what made Apple so successful was the ecosystem, and that was unstoppable with the network effects and everything else. But then kind of fast forward to starting a company, it was like, actually, I don't get a paycheck. It is $0. And that's why I love people, even like real estate agents. It's like, you have to hustle or you don't make anything. And there's a level of anxiety and a level of just um almost emotional stress that goes into that no one in the corporate world or a consultant or a lawyer or any of these, a doctor, they don't understand, because
yeah.
sales is basically handed to them or they're not in a sales role.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I actually want to just give some examples of grit. We're going to go back to the beginning of Hemlane. When you have the idea, you're running around trying to raise money. Just talk about kind of that experience and the fact that, obviously as a young lady, maybe you weren't the only one, you were probably the oddity, I would guess, out there trying to raise
Yeah.
money.
Well, I think one of the things, this is really hilarious. When we started Hemlane, we called it Hemlane because Hem was house in Swedish and we wanted some
Oh,
international feel. And then lane was a pathway to dividing you from others. We wanted a new way for you to be able to manage rental properties. But
okay.
first I'd go out and I'd say Hemlane, and all these venture capitalists were like, "Are you a clothing brand?" Just stereotyping. Like hemline,
Oh,
like hemline on pants.
because you're a woman, Hemlane. I didn't
Yeah,
make the
and like,
connection until now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and so I
Oh,
think that was one of the
that's
first things.
terrible.
The other thing I noticed, and this was in honestly the first 3 years of building Hemlane, I've never had so many people say no and bring me down. I literally would come home and cry every single night.
Mm,
Um, I heard no from basically every investor back then. And it's really hard when you're starting out to understand, is it you? Is it your business? Because a lot of these investors are very opaque on why. Is it like the business? Is it just where the business is? For me, it was like, is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I'm blonde and I kind of look like, maybe a little bit of a sorority girl or something, even though people don't understand how hard I work? There was all of this that went into it. And then it was really hard because I would look at the headlines and be like, such and such property management platform, raised $25 million off of an idea. And I would sit there and be like, what the heck? Like, how? And, fast forward, that was a really, really hard time for me.
sure.
But I also knew I had more passion than anyone else to change this industry. And so we kept going. And fast forward to today, the best thing that ever happened to Hemlane was all those no's, because
I agree.
back then, if you remember, this was 10 years ago, VC money, there was so much of it. They were giving these frothy valuations. So every single one of those competitors, I won't name them publicly, but I have the entire list. They have all gone out of business and closed their doors.
Yeah.
These are YC companies. These are ones that raised from top venture capitalists. They've all closed their doors, or they were all written off to zero and said, we were acquired. And it was actually an acqui-hire that was $0. And so I think the best thing for us was those no's. I heard this from Marco Zappacosta, who started Thumbtack. He said to me, every time you hear one of those no's, it's a little bit more of this push on your end to say, I'm going to prove you wrong. And you
Yes.
work so much harder. And then I think the other thing was always on valuation. It was always like, why do we get lower valuations than other companies I see that are getting much higher valuations, and they don't have the customers and revenue? And again, the market was so frothy back then. These companies were getting, 15x revenue multiples, which is insane.
Yeah.
And now they're underwater. The investors have preferred shares, and so their employees don't get anything. And I'm like, thank goodness we have always gone up in value. We have never gone down. For the people who work so hard at Hemlane, for
Yeah.
our investors and angel investors who were the first to invest in us and believe in us, we have always made sure to just go up, go up, go up. Because when they did the correction, it was like, oh, well, we're kind of already there. Plus,
Yeah.
we've grown our revenue. So,
We're good.
um, yeah, exactly. So, I have to say, if you're an entrepreneur out there, I think you'll hear this story from most. Don't give up, like, just keep going. One of the hardest things, though, for me was always to say in those early days, how do I know when to stop and keep going?
Mm.
And that is going to be, I think, for any entrepreneur, like in hindsight, it was like, oh, of course, I should have kept going. But I think there were certain times where you get so low because you've zero money coming in. Because every dollar we would earn, I wouldn't put it into a salary for me. I'd put it back into the business. And then my husband in year 3 was like, so you said after 6 months you'd start making a salary, but now it's been 3 years. You know what I mean? It would be like, and I was like, I know, but every dollar we make, I toss it back into something I need to pay
Yeah.
for Hemlane. And so, I think keep going, even if from a financial perspective it's not there. You could make a lot more elsewhere, because I think long term, now that I see where we are, it's so much easier with the business. I
Yeah.
love my job every day, and we're able to change an industry that quite honestly needs to be changed. I never look back and say it was the wrong decision, but when you're in that moment, it's really, really hard.
Yeah, again, I'll go back to how I opened this. The reason Hemlane is successful is because of you and the grit that you had at the very beginning. You don't get to where you are today with all these other amazing team members, which kudos to you being the CEO, giving them all the clout. But you're the one fighting the early battles, lonely, going home crying, and you still got it done. So kudos to you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So again, folks, if you don't know grit, and I've seen this throughout my life. I've worked with some amazing sales reps, some of them without even high school diplomas, and it's grit. If you can find grit, again, it's a passion. It's long. And just like that video said, you've got to be able to do it longer than most. And that's where the power and the success lies. Dana, where can people find Hemlane and closing thoughts?
Yeah, you can go to hemlane.com. We do property management for you, everything from helping find and place a tenant to repair coordination, mediation with tenants, all that fun stuff. There's a free plan. You also get 20% off our paid plan if you mention one rental at a time. And my closing thought is that just remember, if you're an entrepreneur out there, whether it's your real estate business or anything else, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so in my early days, I made it a sprint where I was working investment banking hours 7 days
Mm.
of the week. I actually stopped seeing my friends. And the second I changed that mindset of like, hey, I'm going to be in this for 10 plus years, that was when I was able to really make sure I had that balance. So mentally I was there in the office. So just remember, it's not a sprint when you start a company, it's a marathon, and keep going.
Very cool. And we'll see you in Vegas in a couple of weeks. Thank you so
I'm
much.
excited. Thanks so much.
Bye.